Boxing Truth here, back with another video. Make sure to smash that like button, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Alright, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the fight that I have interest in terms of betting on. This is the fight to bet on this weekend. This is the fight where I feel like you're getting a line that's an absolute steal. Not very often are you going to get Keith Thurman at minus 190 type odds here. He's been as low as minus 180 to be successful against Mario Barrios, a guy coming off a knockout loss to a lightweight, a protected lightweight. And you can get him he's been as high as plus 140. They can get him at plus 135 right now. And to me, it's a good fight for Keith coming off the long layoff, the defeat, getting whooped by an old Manny Pacquiao. And sure, there's questions. There's concerns of where he's at in his career. Is the desire still there? Does he still want to compete? Is he totally civilized and done? I mean, he looked really really faded and washed in the very first videos of training that came out, and that's why the line was as low as it was. Keith wasn't looking good. I mean, it was definitely some rust. He definitely needed to get a lot sharper. The vest that he had on didn't help, so he looked completely finished in the very first few training videos we saw. But ever since that was about a couple of months back when he first broke camp for this fight. So now the latest videos that came out, we're seeing some explosiveness, we're seeing some sharpness, we're seeing some crisp combinations. So Keith has definitely been putting in the work. He seems to be in really good shape for this fight. Weighed in at a very light 145.5, very trim, the lowest he's weighed for a fight since it's been 8 years when he was in his prime. So Thurman, he's older now, 33, definitely not at his peak anymore, but still capable and still should be able to dispatch and handle a guy who ain't that good, who's moving up in weight, coming off a knockout embarrassing loss to a protected lightweight. So if a midget lightweight can handle this chump, I don't care how old Thurman is, how much time he's had off, he should be able to handle this chump without much issue. But it's going to be interesting to see how he looks coming off this layoff. Is the punch resistance still there? Is the toughness still there? Yeah, Thurman can get hurt, but he has a lot of heart. It's a lot harder to stop him than it is to hurt him. So if Barrios is smart and his team is smart, they go after Keith's body to see if he's still soft there or has gotten any softer since his hiatus from boxing. But I got Keith all day in this fight. I mean, he was among the top welterweights in the world over the past half decade. Unified titles, was the most accomplished by the time Manny Pacquiao fought him, of the newer generation welterweights that were a part of his generation. And he couldn't get it done against Manny, but he fought well. Earned a lot of respect in defeat. It's been a long time coming since that loss, so I'm sure he's fully rehabilitated, and I expect him to be hungry to fight and to be ready. And this is the perfect opponent for him. A guy who's right in front of you, likes to fight, tall, but hittable. I mean, the guy Barrios didn't beat any top 40 pounders. Couldn't even beat a top 5 40 pounder. Couldn't even beat a protected lightweight. But yeah, I think he's gonna beat Keith Thurman. Hey, there've been bigger upsets, but I just don't see it. I'm riding all day with Keith. I got went heavy. I went heavy on a parlay actually. I parlayed Macaboo with Keith Thurman, so I've been waiting patiently, and I expect to hit on his bet. I expect Keith to make me some money, and I expect him to move on to bigger and better things. It's a perfect opponent for him to come back to. You know, this shows you the difference between Keith and Manny, though. Manny came back to fight Spence after 2 years off, and Thurman's coming back to fight Barrios. So this is definitely a confidence booster type fight to see where he's at physically, and if Keith wins, and if he wins, most likely the Errol Spence fight's going to be next. You know, that's on the PBC side. Well, he's definitely going to be in a major fight soon if he wins this fight. So a lot on the line for Keith if he truly wants to fight. So we'll see. I expect the Keith Thurman victory though. The real question is how is he going to win this fight? It's going to be interesting. Keith hasn't recorded a true knockout in years. The last stoppage win he had was 2015 when Luis Collazo mysteriously quit on his stool after almost knocking Keith out with a body shot. So, look, you're not going to get these type of odds with Keith most of the time. So, to me, it's a no-brainer. I don't trust a freaking guy who got knocked out by a lightweight and got a gift decision, and the toughest guy he fought at 140, I forgot his name. Barrios just ain't that good, not on that level, never was, never will be. But he has an opportunity here to beat an inactive Thurman in his first fight in the welterweight division. He also has extra padding in those gloves. It's going to be 10-ounce gloves. However that came about, don't know. Thurman said it was Barrios' team who refused. In the state of Nevada, if both teams don't agree, the mandated 10-ounce gloves will be in place for the camps that don't agree on 8-ounce gloves. Looks like a sign of weakness. Whoever, put that in place or denied for 8-ounce gloves. But it is what it is. Don't think it'll have much of an impact on the fight, but it could have an impact on if Thurman scores a knockout victory or not. So I just played it safe. I took Keith Thurman money line. If Thurman's ever going to score a knockout again, this has to be the fight, even coming off 2.5 years layoff. So, the odds are very good, but it's risky. You don't know how Thurman's going to be after 2 years, and he hasn't recorded a knockout in a very long time. So, just play it safe. Keith Thurman to win the fight. Expect a little payout tomorrow night. We definitely going to be tuning in. Keith one-time Thurman should be back in the winning column and should be heading towards some really significant major fights in the division. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Who you got? What's your recommended bet here? This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.